Rachel Maddow the other night brought this up and covered it, as she always does, completely and with great detail. She's got the best political commentary program on television. You know that as well as I do. But she said if Trump is indicted, which it looks like he's going to be, there's going to be what she called an attack on the full system that has the power to put him on trial. Yeah, Trump will do anything and everything, as will his minions. It's we're saying that there's never been a president indicted in the United States. That's going to change. There's never been a criminal. There's never been a filthy son of a bitch like Donald Trump ever in the presidency either. But Maddow, on Monday, she explained on her show there's a number of countries that have slowly eroded whatever democratic values they had. And she cited Russia and Israel as examples. And I haven't talked about the situation in Israel yet, but I'm going to try to this week. But this is what Maddow said, a direct quote. Quote, I think it's worth us watching it in other countries to learn the pattern, but also recognize the signs that we are not immune. In this country, our most prominent far-right leader has been subjected to multiple criminal and counterintelligence investigations by the FBI and the Justice Department. And so we have seen over the past several years that he has escalated and escalated and escalated further attacks on the Justice Department and the FBI to the point where not just him and his party considers the FBI to be an enemy and to attack it at every turn. End quote. And Rachel went on to cite Trump Republicans attacking the Justice Department and law enforcement in their wild-ass charges. And she noted that in 3 days, actually now it's down to tomorrow, something major might change this country forever. She said this, quote, Thursday this week, former president, current presidential candidate Donald Trump is likely to understand he is no longer just facing scrutiny and investigation from the law enforcement agency, but is likely to find out this week that he is about to be under court scrutiny as well, end quote. Now, of course, what she's talking about, I'm sure you know this, the judge overseeing that special grand jury here in Atlanta in Fulton County decided that 3 pieces of the final report would become public, even though Fani Willis, the district attorney, she eventually agreed to what the judge said, but she wanted to keep it all secret until she was ready to reveal who the indictments are against. But the judge decided that 3 pieces of the final report would become public: the introduction to the grand jury's findings, the conclusion to the grand jury's findings, and then information about who they feel lied to them, the grand jury. Rachel put it this way, quote, the bottom line is a big picture story for our democracy. Trump may not find himself being charged in Georgia, just as he may not find himself being charged in New York State. He may not find himself being charged in federal court, where multiple grand juries are investigating him, and it's possible he will not face charges in any of these places. But if he is, the process of adjusting as a democracy is about to start now. End quote. And then she anticipates or lays out for us, her audience, what could happen if Trump is indicted by the grand jury here in Fulton County, here in Atlanta. She said this, quote, and if you thought it was a bad look for our American version of one of these guys to be attacking the press for challenging him, to be attacking the FBI and Justice Department for investigating him, then what is around the corner for our democracy if he's indicted? What is around the corner from us if he is indicted is an attack on the specific system that holds the power to indict him and potentially arrest him and put him in court and put him on trial. End quote. And of course, what Maddow is referring to is, obliquely, she's referring to the violence that an indictment of this filthy pig could possibly start. Rachel is, while she is 100% truthful and honest, she, being in a national figure where it concerns what she does, she's cautious in her words, and she's not going to state categorically that what Trump may promote will be violence. You know, stand back and stand by that he said in his so-called debate with Joe Biden is just warm water compared to what he might say when he's indicted. So we better be prepared for this. I think that's what Maddow was trying to say. Tomorrow, Thursday, we are probably going to find out some information that is going to have a profound effect on what happens in this country. We will watch and report. I'll see you tomorrow. Please take care. Keep it lit. I'm Mike Malloy. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. You know, the Progressive Voices Network brings you commercial-free commentary from today's leading progressive radio hosts and pundits, like me, Mike Malloy, 24 hours a day. I'm not your typical old guy from the 80s or the 90s talk radio host, and Progressive Voices is not your typical talk radio network. It's a listener-supported nonprofit with no corporate control whatsoever over our broadcast. So hosts like me, Mike Malloy, are free to rant and scream and carry on about whatever we like. We're often controversial, but we're never boring. Weeknights, 9 p.m. in the East, 6 p.m. in the West on the Progressive Voices Network. Always progressive, always on. I'm Mike Malloy. Keep it lit.